a friend who's always late? It doesn't matter where they live or how close they are to the actual venue, they still don't show up on time. This tutorial is for you, my friend. It's the perfect last minute DIY holiday gift. It is a custom clock. I'm so happy, kind of proud of myself. I killed this, but I'm gonna show you how to do it too. It should cost you about $20 to $25 if you're starting scratch with the materials. And follow along and I'll teach you how to make this DIY custom clock. Keep in mind that you don't have to use Africa as the centerpiece. It could be Los Angeles, it could be a sorority symbol, fraternity symbol, or whatever you think would suit you best. I did this because I'm Nigerian and my friends always say I'm on African time, but I digress. We're not going to use stereotypes here. You just do whatever is best for the person that you will be gifting. So stay tuned while I show you how to make this DIY custom clock.
For this project, you will need 2 foam brushes, one of which should be a flathead, a pen, acrylic paint, gold gilding paint, masking tape, clock movement kit, a round clock surface, cutout of the map of Africa or any other shape, and a cutout of a clock. The first thing you want to do is lay out your workspace. So I've already unwrapped the clock as well as the internal components and the actual ticking mechanisms. So I've put the gold paint, and I like to use old container covers, and no, I still do not use these to eat. I like to keep them around specifically for art purposes. To start with, I used the foam brush and lightly dabbed it into the gold, and as you can see, I'm lightly dabbing, dab, 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 all along the edge of the clock face. And using the pen is really helpful because it holds it in place and you can spin it all around. The reason why I like dabbing instead of just dragging it across is it gives it kind of a light little 3D effect, almost like the actual gold foil. So this is supposed to be gold foil imitation, and you want to do it all around the edge and then lay it down to dry carefully. If you mess up, it's fine. Honestly, you're gonna paint over the top anyway, so it's cool. Let that dry. For me, this is where people differ. Some people like to go recklessly in the middle of things, and when it comes to painting, I love to start from the edge. I am an edger. I like to start from the edge and work my way in. So just paint the top of the clock however you see fit, but do keep in mind that you want to try to keep the same type of stroke. This sounds really funny. You want to try and use the same type of stroke all across, because even though it will all dry with one color, there may be visible differences in the stroke. So keep stroking, guys. You want to lay that down to dry, and when it is dry, you should be able to touch all sides of it. And then you can prep for your center shape. I use the map of Africa. I literally just went to Google and typed in outline of Africa, and then I scaled it down to, I believe, 73%. Don't ask me why it was 73%. I just started playing around with random numbers until I found a size that I thought would be good enough for the center. And as you can see, I have a very specific cutting style. I like to cut as close to the line, if not on the line, as much as possible. Everyone is different. Some people are a little wild and reckless and cut anyway, but I like it to be as specific as possible. Also, you don't have to use a map of Africa, obviously. You can use Puerto Rico, Jamaica. It could be a pineapple for all I care, or a shape of Los Angeles. But if you're going to use the map of Africa, don't forget Madagascar. And when you're done cutting it out, you lay it down to see if you're okay with the size and the placement of the shapes. But then I pulled out the clock face because I wanted to know where I was going to put the numbers on the clock and to see how I wanted the map to fit before I drew it on. So use your discretion. If you want to get fancy and pull out a ruler and start measuring the spaces, I did not. You can do what you like. I went the easy, fast way out. I literally went onto Google, again, is your friend, and typed in clock face, found one that I like, printed it out, and I'm going to use this as a fake measuring guide to space out the pieces. Next, you want to trace out your outline of your shape. I used a pen and I was able to see it, but I later switched to a gold marker just so that it was easier for you guys to see what I was doing. It's hard to see it on camera, but there is an outline. I'm going to use the gold anyway, just so that you guys can follow along with me and it'll be easier to tell what I'm seeing in real time. I used one of my favorite gold pens. It's a Sharpie Gold, and I'll link the descriptions below. And now it's time for my favorite part. I love, love, love to paint in the lines. I am crazy about it, but do you? When the center of your clock is dry, you put the clock face back on, and then I started to apply the numbers. If you want, you can measure it out, but I didn't. I literally started with the 12, the 3, the 6, and the 9, and worked my way from there with the numbers in between. I just found it easier. I didn't even tape the clock face down. I just kind of was a little, I don't know, I thugged it out, but be careful when you're putting the numbers down because they don't move very easily, and I don't recommend trying to lift it and then reapply the numbers, so be careful. I played around with the idea of adding a phrase to the clock, like leave now or you're late. I ultimately decided against it, mostly because I didn't want to squeeze it in the corner, and I think the size of the center map was a decent one, and they would get the point with the gift that I'm giving. But it's up to you. I'm curious to know whether you guys think I should have put something on it, what would your catchphrase be, and ultimately whether you think it looks better with or without the extra words that I decided not to put. Let me know. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there were two different color golds from the gold paint that I used and the gold of the clock numbers. So I went all around and already painted 1 through 9, but I'll show you how to paint those other numbers if you want to do that as well. I recommend painting them before you stick them on, obviously, but I didn't realize how different the two color golds would be until after I already stuck it on. So like usual, you know I'm all about the light dab, so I'm lightly dabbing the gold paint onto the numbers. You want to be careful because since it's already mounted to the clock, you don't want to mess up. Now it's time to turn it into a real clock. I started to unscrew the pieces for the ticker, and then I made a huge mistake, you guys. Learn from my lesson. I'm going to link the product descriptions and materials used at the bottom, but I messed up big time. See, this is a 1/4 inch clock material, and you actually need a 3/4 inch clock. So what happens is the shaft is way too short and it will not work. You can't put on the rest of the pieces. So I had to take my little booty back to the store and get another one, and I was not happy about it. So learn from my mistakes and make sure that you get one that is 3/4 inches long so that it can make it all the way through. I went out, got my nails done, as you can see, and I laid out all the pieces according to the box instructions, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like with the pieces laid out. So that gap is where the actual clock face is going to go. So follow the directions and you'll be fine, but attach all of it to the front of the clock. And you want to leave a little bit of space in between so that the pieces can actually turn. Don't forget you'll need a AA battery. Also going to include that in the materials down below. And it's working! When you make something and it works, you feel amazing. So let me know down below if you try it.
Now that we've finished our project, it's time for the warrior word of the day. The warrior word of the day is a word that spoke to me during this project, and I want to share with you in hopes that you'll be able to reflect on it during your day-to-day battles. I believe in courage through creation, and words like this have helped me to get through some of the difficult times in my life, so I'm going to share it with you. Today's warrior word of the day is time. Time waits for no one. If you knew that every hour that you waited and delayed in pursuing your dreams cost you $500, would you act differently at the end of the day? Would you pursue your dreams even faster? As a lawyer, a lot of lawyers that work in private firms bill in 6-minute increments, sometimes 15-minute increments, and an hour can cost you $500 of their time. Time is valuable. So I implore you to pursue your dreams, because time waits for no one and there's no need for you to delay. It'll never feel like it's 100% perfect. Like as I'm trying to record and there's construction going on outside, things will happen, but don't delay. Start today. I had to close the blinds. Sorry about that. But I appreciate your time, and I hope that you will like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more holiday DIYs, petty project style, general DIYs, or daily inspiration. Thank you so much, guys. Subscribe! And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.